Well, good evening. Oh, that's loud tonight. Hi, everyone. Luke and Eric and Kurt. Good to see you tonight. Oh, turn the speakers off. Oh, they are off, aren't they? I don't know. No. Now they're off. There we go. Okay, not so echoey. Good. So, I changed mics again. I don't know if this is any better, but only plan tonight is that we're going to mess around a bit in Wavestate Native again. Probably talk about a couple of things. Most of what was in the jam tonight, since I skipped that last week, but in the jam this week, let's see what all we had here. We had a mess, is what we had. Let's see. We didn't play anything from the Absinthe track tonight. We had this guy going on, which is a contact instrument, and that is this guy, Ethereal Earth. All kinds of nice ambient stuff. And that'll trail off forever. Let's see here real quick. Turn that release time back down to something normal. There we go. And let's see, what else we had was Zyklop doing the bass thing, or the plucky bassy sequence thing. That stuff. Yes, Luke, I was going to get to that. Hopefully that person is viewing tonight, and I can address whatever questions they may have had. I know one of the questions they had was whether it was good, so we'll get to that in a sec. But yeah, I caught that at the tail end of just before, I guess it was, that I had to jump off, or shortly before I had to jump off. So yeah, we'll talk about the Take 5 and what it's doing in my life. I don't think this particular sound actually made it to the live jam this evening, but this is out of Wavestate Native. One thing I'm working on, somebody had dropped out some. Oh, this is the one we were working on last week. We'll pick up with this. Somebody had put out some NKS wrappers to put around the Wavestate. I haven't gotten them to work yet. It would be a lot easier to deal with the Wavestate, at least for playing, when I get that working. He actually did them for all of these guys. He did the Wavestate, Op6, modwave, and multipoly, all native, the native apps. And I want to take that a little further once I figure out how it works and see if I can make it work with the hardware as well. So that didn't make it in. We'll get back to this one. This is, I think, just an init patch. Yep. That we'll play with tonight. This came off the Polybrute. And of course, being on the Polybrute, and I was going back and forth with this one between being unison and poly mode, which you can't see because it's just the window. Ableton you're looking at. So let's see what else we had. The multipoly. Let's go ahead and go back to Cam 2. Multipoly, and we'll move it over where it needs to be. Boom. So this was, again, back to the Polybrute. And then a unison version of it. The multipoly I was just using for these little plucky things, plucky bells. And let's see. That was sometimes being sequenced too. I was back and forth with that. And let's see. Then we had going to, that's off the Wavestate hardware, which you can't really see either at the moment. Too wide down, there we go. And this is an expansion of one of the ones that I was working on before as well. It was More Ways is where it started. Now it's Many More Ways, and I'll take a tour through what I did to that one as well. I'm really having fun with the Wavestate finally. So this one does some pretty cool stuff now. Sometimes when it feels like it. Anyway, we'll look at that. And I think that was it for what was in the jam tonight. So that's that. So let's real quick talk about a few things. Actually, there's a couple things. You can see over my shoulder, I never get the left and right thing right back there. A pile of stuff that I'm starting to put together to get my wife's little studio going. I've got her a new microphone, and I got her a couple of cameras. We're going to run her on everything, either OBS or directly with Zoom, because that's going to be her platform mostly until she's ready to actually do YouTube streaming. So I figured USB stuff would be the way to go with her, especially no synths. I touched on this last week. I'm doing custom music for her stuff. So a lot of stuff that's based on the 7 chakras and stuff like that. So whatever synths I feel like making the music with are what's going to be used for her stuff. And a lot of it, let's see, the stuff that I started with so far, I can't remember what I used. I might have used Wavestate. I can't remember. Anyway, I'd have to look in the projects. So anyway, her stuff is starting to pile up over there. And it should be an adventure. One of the things that she's really proficient with PowerPoint and other things, Microsoft. And so I'm going to, one of the things that I learned you can do with PowerPoint, and this may play into some of my future streams as well, is you can pump a webcam image into a live PowerPoint presentation and have it show up as part of the presentation. And if it can be webcam, it's been pretty much anything you can spit out on the webcam output. And the ATEM switcher can output on USB as if it's a webcam. So you may see some of that stuff from me coming up in the future as I'm doing more detailed stuff in my streams. So should be interesting. So that's that, bringing us up to take 5. And as you may know, a few weeks ago, I actually took the take 5 out of the studio, and in its physical place is where the multipoly ended up. And I'm thinking that for the studio, for the foreseeable future, mostly that's the way it's going to stay. But a mutual friend of Luke's and mine has some rules about stuff you think you're going to get rid of. Because I was thinking about selling the Take 5, and he says that this is Tony saying this. Luke says that one of his rules is you should never play a synth again that you've decided to sell. And I was kind of chuckling as you were talking about the Take 5 on the stream, on your stream yesterday. sitting in the back seat of the truck was my Take 5 going to a live jam. And so what I kind of decided is that the Take 5 is going to be with me at least through November, because I do enjoy playing it live, and I'm going to try and work it into the live set that I'm doing in the first week of November, or the first day of November. He is a lovable curmudgeon. And I don't know if you noticed, he's been streaming a lot lately too, which is great to see him start to stream a bunch, because he's doing some really neat stuff musically. And I will try and find a link or put a link to his stream in the show notes for tonight, if I remember. Anyway, I think that was all the news that was fit to print. Yeah, I think that's it. I can't think of anything else. If anybody remembers anything I was supposed to talk about that I said last week I'd talk about this week, just let me know, tag me. I don't have the little question box working that Luke is using. I'll have to figure out how to make that work, because I don't see it in my little drop down. So anyway, I'll try and keep an eye on what's going on the screen. Tag me, put the cues in, that kind of thing. And so let's go ahead and just get into making some noises. Plus button on the chat input. Yeah, oh, that. Is that it? Engage with your audience. Oh. Okay. Well, you may see a box pop up in there. I don't see it actually from where I am, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. So I'm going to type something just to see if it wakes it up. Oh, I see what I have to do. I gotcha. Stand by a moment while I type. Okay, I don't know if it's good. Oh, I see. Oh, so I can't see. Interesting. All right. Well, anyway, there it is. We'll see how that works and how I use that. I can still see the total chat down here on the screen as long as I have it up. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the stuff that was going on in Wavestate this time. And so for that, we'll jump over to the DAW and go into this guy. So this is the one. Okay, we'll come back to this. This is the one we were working on last week, and I haven't done anything with it beyond last week. This is that one. Okay, so I'll have to open it up in here. That's fine. So on the hardware, I had this guy playing. And so this is a very interesting performance. Let's turn it down a little bit. What do you get when you multiply 6 by 9? I get some great car speakers. That's what I get. 6 by 9's in the back, man. And by the way, Luke, getting 6 by 9, let's see, 6 by 9. I used to know my 9s really were 27. Is not the ultimate answer. It's not the answer to life, the universe, and everything. So what I did in here, you guys are going to try and distract me. So I added a whole bunch of steps in here. I guess the thing to do would be compared to what it used to be, what it looked like when I first built it. which was this guy. So initially I had like 3 samples in here, and it was pretty plain vanilla. It's still a nice sounding patch. I mean, nothing, I like this. So I had that. I had a few steps in the timing lane. Nothing really going on interesting with pitch or shape or anything like that. So with the as I got into it and playing around with it more and experimenting with it more, I added a bunch more samples. So we're now running through 8 samples, more timing differences up through here, and I set some ability for it to drop an octave and raise an octave, and because you can go in through it, it's not always going to do it. Every time it runs through the loop, it's going to play this step because my probability here is set to 100%. But when we get to this step, it's only going to do it 8% of the time, and this one's only going to do it like 4% of the time. So if I hold a note, you'll see it starts to cycle through. And it's cycling. You see there it went up an octave. The other thing you see moving is that shape, and if it hits that shape is controlling volume. If it hits the shape when it does an octave, it does a pretty cool thing. It's also the shape. That shape is also modulating pitch, so it does some neat bends following that curve, and we can go in and look at the curve. So that's what the curve is looking like when it did that last octave drop. It went this thing. So that's you can do a lot of fun stuff with these. I'm learning lots of fun stuff you can do through the sequencer. The sequencer is absolutely amazing. So the step sequence I haven't gotten into using the step sequence for anything yet on this patch anyway. And I'm not sure I'm going to do much more with this patch, except start to assign real-time controls into the 8 knobs on the hardware, or the 8 macro knobs, and then at the same time when I get into that, I'll be assigning them so that they can eventually show up on the Control S, and I'll be able to control them from the keyboard. And that's kind of an ultimate goal kind of thing, to be able to do that, because that gives me a lot more performance flexibility. So that's where that's going. I'm not sure if there's anything else in there that's really. I got into playing with modulating the filter more. All the layers are hot and doing something. And so like this layer's got its different wave sequences, pretty short. It's just this 2. Let's see, we can solo the layer or mute the others anyway. This one is doing missed this. It's kind of glass and tubular bell mixture. So one thing that's really cool about this, I haven't done this yet, but each one of these layers, just like on the multipoly or on the modwave, each one of these layers is its own synthesizer. And the programs for each of these layers can be saved individually and used elsewhere. So I could create a different mix of some of these same layers with other layers that I've done from others that I do with other stuff to create entirely new patches. So it's this environment, this sound design environment of these little Korg synthesizers is nothing short of amazing. It's just it's fun now that I know how it works. So layer C is doing what's it doing? Oh, the same thing pitched up, or the same sounds pitched up an octave higher. but the order of the timing is reversed. So if you look at layer B, timing runs forward quarter, dotted eighth, quarter, dotted eighth, and I think these are all, yeah, they're all going to happen every time. So that gives it this kind of ringing bell, like when you pull on the bell cord, the bell rings and it does this, odd time clanging back and forth. So that does that on this one. On this layer, though, that cadence is reversed, supposedly. Yeah, like it plays through once and then starts reversing. And again, pitched up an octave. And then layer D on this patch is also fairly simple. It's a bass sound alternating between a couple different bass tones. And so when you put everything together, and I think I did, yeah, I've got things crossing over in different zones, so the bass layer stops, winds out, actually pretty high, but and then the two bell layers, and then the first layer runs the whole range. Each layer's got its own set of effects, mostly. So layer A has got everything turned on. I got tremolo and a chorus and a tape echo, and then B's got a reverse delay going on. C's got a stereo delay going on, and then D has just some chorus and guitar amp kind of emulation. That all runs into reverb and out the door. So like I said, with the exception of assigning some continuous controller stuff, this one's pretty much done. I'm pretty happy with the way it's come out. It's been a lot of fun putting it together. That was strange. Screen flashed. On the stream return, anyway. Let me know if you guys notice anything weird going on. So, anyway, that's that one. Let's go on to, we go back here. Be interesting to try to remember where we left off on this one last time. Or what more it even really needs. That's a darn fine pad, if I do say so myself. What do I have going on here? Let's see, filtering. Let's see, another very simple. Really pretty simple. Looks like. I said, trying to remember what we did last week, because I ended up having to rush out at the end of the show, because it was getting late, and like most Tuesdays, I was heading off to DC in the morning, I think. .42 jam. It's either 42 or Synth is Life. It's one of the two. I don't think this needs anything. There's a point. There's one thing about sound design. It's, you know, when you have this much um, when you have this much capability available, um, it's um, it's tempting to throw everything and the kitchen sink into the patch, but you know, sometimes that just gets to be too much. So I think we're going to leave those two be. Again, it's just down to getting continuous controller stuff plugged in and set up. And so let's play some more. Go back here, and I'm going to go back over to this one, I think. Yep, and we'll go here. And one of the things I complained about last week in these instruments is they don't have what I would consider to be a real a real init patch. That's a heady question, Jam. It depends on how you look at AI. I'll get on my, I'll pontificate about it. It depends on how you look at it. There are certain segments of the music industry that fully AI generated music is probably just fine for. You know, elevator music. You know, it's because you know, it's really strange walking into Walmart and hearing, and no affiliation with Walmart, but walking into a Walmart or name your favorite store and hearing a soft instrumental version of, you know, Hell Bent for Leather. You know, the stuff that's the kind of stuff that it's just like I'm walking through the store and, you know, you hear this stuff and it's like, wait a minute, that's not right. So, you know, as far as using AI for that kind of mindless in the background just noise that keeps people shopping, okay. As far as, to my mind, in my mind, AI is a tool. And so to me, AI can be something to help me in certain aspects of creating music. Just like it helps me in creating certain graphics, you know. Now, for instance, the show graphic, I used an AI tool, a couple of AI tools in my photo editing software to build some of these layers. But, you know, the layers here are a photograph that I took of my own Wavestate, a screenshot of the Wavestate native software, and an AI generated wavy thing that I used. And I said I want full color. I said I want, you know, full color sound waves, and that's what. And after about 16 iterations back and forth with it, that's what I got. I said, okay, this is a great part for this digital collage that I'm doing. And I made it mix in and change the colors around. Same with the graphic for last week, which I don't have loaded up in the switcher, but I did the same kind of thing with the graphic last week. And so for me, that's a tool. I don't think, you know, Luke asks the question, is AI going to develop a fan base, essentially, of average listeners? And I don't, in some genres, I'm sure that people won't know. You know, they won't know if they're listening to an AI generated song. and in other genres they certainly will. You know, now uh, as I said, I fall down on on it being a tool to help me. Um, I don't ever really want to let the AI take over completely. I may say, AI, go do that thing, and you know, as Ableton Live, for instance, progresses more and more and more, there are intelligent or semi-intelligent tools built into it to help you do things. So from that standpoint, I think AI is a great help. Is it going to take over? That's up to the art. That's up to artists, honestly, and to some extent. I mean, you know, big business is going to and is actively um, trying to train AI to make popular music. And if the AI generated uh, voiceover artists are any indication, we have many years to go before it will be usable, or fully usable. Um, as it is with, you know, AI graphics generation at this point, it's fun to play with. You know, I've stopped using it as the primary creation tool for my graphics for the show. Although interestingly, as although some people complained, I got more hits on the AI generated um, uh, thumbnails than I have on the ones I've done myself, which I find very interesting, especially as much as people gripe about AI. So anyway, that's my AI tangent. Let's go ahead and get back to making some sound here. I've got my init performance, and what I did for an init performance, so as I said, I was complaining about before not really having a proper init. So I made one that is a wave sequence of one thing. It's got a sine-ish. It's not really even a sine, but it calls itself a sine, just to have something to start with. And one step in the timing lane, one step in the pitch lane. Basically, that's it. And the same thing is copied to all the layers. So you just by turning on the layers, I can get, you know, a start at something that's at least moving a little bit, because timing is allowed to slip a little bit. So from there, I can actually start and do something more interesting. And I think for this, I'm not sure what I want this sound to be. One of the things that I'm just blindly learning about a synth or blindly creating sounds, I never really go in with a plan per se. Maybe that's probably bad, but that's the way that goes. But my favorite thing to build is pads and things with lots of motion. So I think we're gonna try and skip that and see if I can come up with something that's a little more lead-like. So I'm going to start going through and finding some sounds to start from. And I don't know what all of these are. There's so many of them in here. We got all the sounds from the Wavestate in here. Let's see what that does. Okay. And let's go ahead and pick up a companion to that. So that's Res 1. Where did I? Down here. Okay, that's Res 1-1. I think there might be an easier way to make this work. Okay, let's try just randomly that one. And we'll bring this out so both steps will play. Okay, not too bad to start with. But what I want to do, let's make this step faster. Still slow. That's interesting. Let's go ahead and add another step. Give it a different amount of time. This is the part where I mumble while I'm doing what I do. Okay, cool. I was struggling earlier. I wanted to be able to set an exact time in one of these and couldn't figure out how to do it. And the light bulb just came on. You just do it here. Like if I want that to be exactly a quarter of a second, I can just type it in. And I'm guessing that time is adjusted to base on sample lengths. But let's see. So each one can have a crossfade time that's different. This is where I kind of fight with this, is getting things to crossfade smoothly. Maybe if I do a little filtering on that, that'll help to smooth that out some. All right, that's not too bad. Let's see, we can throw a little filter envelope on there. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Shorter attack. A little less resonance. That gets peaky real fast, doesn't it? Oh, and let's use the MS-20 low pass filter. Has a little more character. And we'll throw the mod wheel at it too, just because. That's the thing you do. Still not real thrilled about that pulsing between those two different waveforms, samples. Maybe if I make it all slower. Let's see, let's drive that up, drive that up, drive the crossfades up. And maybe changing the shape here will help. Let's see, there is fast. Maybe that'll. Nope. Or maybe we just accentuate the heck out of it. What about, what's that do? Actually, let's try going back to the triangle and duplicating the triangle out. Sometimes it seems like it reacts a little better if you have two shapes. And I don't know why, or if that's really, if it's just my imagination, or not. I don't know. Okay, that's getting interesting-ish. Annoying, but interesting. So let's see. Let's go ahead and see if we can get the filtering a little better. Yeah, reverb. Well, so reverb is a master effect on this. I usually don't add that till the very end, because the reverb affects all of the layers. I mean, we can go ahead and turn it on, obviously, but just stick the stock overb on there. I'm honestly, as much as I'm like Korg, I've never been particularly thrilled with overb. Just not my. There's something about it I've just never quite liked. But yeah, we can certainly add more release to the envelope. And actually, yeah, the amp envelope has got like nothing going on for release. Oh, opening the filter is doing some weird stuff. That was weird. We're going to back that effect of the mod wheel off a bunch. Wow, listen to that reverb. That is going on forever. So let's back the reverb size and time down a little bit. And look how little reverb there is actually on that. I mean, that's crazy. That is nuts. That just wants to go forever. I'm looking at the. All I see is interesting. Let me go back to live chat. Shunk. Oh, interesting. That seems to have turning on the. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so I'm looking at what I thought was live chat, turning on the. Because all we're seeing on the screen now is the questions chat. Let me roll back. Hey, Paul, good to see you. Thanks for coming. Oh, man, I missed all kinds of stuff. Does the Wavestate have the reverb algorithm interconnected? I get along with that one quite well. Also, okay, interconnected. So let's see. I'm going to take the chat out because the chat's kind of whacked out here at the moment. Let me see if I can, real quick, see if I can get the chat back where it ought to be. Oh, I see where I need to do that. Boom, here. And now I have no idea what's going to show up over there, but Paul, if you're on a computer, there's a box at the top for questions. Yeah, and I'm not actually using OBS, but I'm using the same OBS thing. So I'm going to actually kill off the questions if I can figure out how to do that, because that does not play well in this environment. Let's see, end Q&A. There we go. Remove questions from the question list. Yes, go away. Boom. Okay. Yeah, that's ended. We won't be doing that again. At least until I have more time to play with it. So let's see. Now, Ruthvik had asked about, do I have interconnected or whale song? So let's take a look. That was Star Flutes we were just listening to. Interconnected. It does not. Nor does it has whale song. That's a possibility, Ruthvik. But the whale song is actually pretty nice. We'll use that for now. Like I said, I've never been a huge fan of Overb, and I've had Overb in I don't know how many synths over the years. It's just I just kind of I tend to I tend to not I tend to stick something else after the instrument if I want a reverb from a Korg. But this will do for now. Let's see. So where were we? We're back messing with the wave sequence and filtering. Paul, you ain't right. Okay, so I want to go back into the amp and I want to, and the filter both, and I want to shorten the attack up again. Like I said, I wanted this to be a little more leady. And the filter might be a little too intense now. Routes its wet dry mix to the master performance knob. Okay, I'm not on hardware at the moment though, so I'd have to do that up there, or I'll set it where I want it to max out and. Better control with the mod. You can't see me. Well, it's showing on the screen, but. Okay, that's. Okay, let's see. We need to make some. We need to do something to make that a little more interesting underneath. Just adding a sine wave under it helps. Sometimes it's the simple things. But I think I want it a little more interesting than that. Let's see. Okay, and less of it. But more than that. Okay, so back over to here now, and that means the filter envelope has to be actually back being more, I was modulating the filter with the mod wheel, so I want more of that, and longer. We can go back to more of having that now. Oh, let's see. Throw some delay just on that part. Okay, next, both of these are going to get a little filter action from that down from aftertouch, and I'm going to throw poly aftertouch at it because I can. A little too active there. There we go. Not going to notice it a whole lot down there. A little less resonance on layer A. Actually, what we can do, oh, let's see. Let's take the mod wave to bring the resonance, or the mod wheel and aftertouch to lower resonance a little bit as we apply them. That way I get the sweep, but lose the bite. Or some of the bite anyway. That's a little better. All right. Let's see. I'm going to introduce just a touch of panning LFO. It's pretty quick at the moment. All right. So the final thing I want to add to this, I'm hearing this in my head, so I just have to find the sound. And the third layer, I'm going to want a kind of a shimmery kind of thing that happens late. So that's going to be probably a bell thing, pitched pretty high, I would guess. Let's see. What happens if you use the solar bell and we put it a couple of octaves up? Yeah, okay. So now I'm going to want, actually let's do this one on tempo and make it like 30, or start with 16ths. Whoops. And let's see, go to the sample. I want to make the sample, let's see. How do I want to do this? Go here, and we're going to make this a short, do the short pulse maybe. Yep, except we're going to make the notes even faster. And not all the same length. And we're going to really shorten the crossfade. And bring this out. This one's only going to happen about 4 or 5% of the time. Oh, I want that to be an octave. But I think an octave's too high. We're going to go for a fifth. Okay, let's make that guy fade in. And ramp down a little and then go away slowly. And I think I'm going to bring this down even more. We're going to bring that down just to like a there. Put some, let's see, we'll bring the level on that down overall a little bit, bring some effects into it. It'll definitely get a fun delay. Is it me, or is did I inadvertently get mod wheel hitting reverb? I don't mind it. I like it. I just want to know if I'd like it to be on purpose, you know. Oh, that's those guys. Reverb. Yes, modwave is hitting the wet on the reverb. Okay. Well, that's cool. Let's go ahead and here. Okay, go in here, go to effects. I'm going to have the mod wheel adjust also a little bit of wet dry on that. I have to be careful when I'm using some things on this controller. Oh, shoot, wrong shot. Hang on a sec. There is a touch strip here, and by default, if I get that, it gets the volume. And all I have to do is tap it to make it change the volume. And it's like one complaint that I have about this controller is that's like mapped by default in a bad spot. I think I'm going to. Where is that? Does this? No, this doesn't show me what's going on. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I have to turn it on. Nope, doesn't show me where that peaky bit's coming from. So let's real quick grab this so I can take a look. I think it's that 900-ish hertz one that's giving me the gas. So let's take this guy, band 2, run it down a little bit, 8 or 900, and tighten it up and kind of bite that out of there a little bit. I'm not worried about much of the rest of it. Actually much better. I am going with, since I want this to be a lead and not get too crazy, yeah, I want that to be a cut. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, that balanced out the low end nicely. And let's see, maybe I'll take out some high end just to smooth it off. Oh, except I lost my bells. Okay, that goes away. Something's masking them. Something in this layer here is masking them. This is where it would be nice to have two filters on the layer. And another thing that would be actually wonderful on this bell layer would be a granulizer. What do I have in here? Yes, go ahead if you would, Luke. If you could post a link to Tony's channel, that would be fantastic. Tony goes by Noise Theorem, and I will do it in the description as well. But go ahead, if you've got it, go ahead and post it up in the chat. We had the pleasure of meeting Noise Theorem Tony out at KnobCon a couple years ago. Nice guy to hang out with. Thoroughly enjoyed when we went out with him. We went out to dinner with him a couple of times. Let's see. I don't have. What would that do on there? Like that. Make that go fast-ish. Ooh, I know what I want to do. I want to tie, can I do this? Can I tie aftertouch to pitch on one of these? Curious. Oh, let's see. All right, whatever. Let's see. Oh, it's not even turned on. Okay. So can I take aftertouch and tie that there? Ooh, I can. Wow, that's cool. Okay, so let's make that one actually start at 0, and we can go up 3. That's interesting. Except I want it all to go faster. I want this, I want, probably not too much faster though. All right. I think I'm not going to do a whole lot more to that one tonight either, because we are winding down towards the end of the allotted time. We need to give it a name, I think. What do we want to call it? It's a lead, so I'm going to do, I need to start notating the starts of the names of things so that you can tell what it is. Let's see. Actually, there's a little bit of a refinement I still want to make, but I'm going to call it I'm lousy at naming patches. let's see. Well, we'll just give it a working name since I'm drawing complete blanks, and so is everyone else. We'll just call it that. And we will save that as new. And then I wanted to come in here real quick, and because there's a little bit much of that hissy thing. So I want it to sweeping wapad. Thank you. That's what it's going to be when I rename it in a moment. I want this hissy thing to take a little more time coming in and then come out a little bit after it gets there. See, Kurt, I always try and come up with something cute, you know, like sad robin's egg or something like that, you know. All right, that I kind of like, so we're going to call this lead. It's a lead, but it's a pad. Sweeping wah pad. And that'll be all those things. Category, we'll give it fast synth. Actually, we'll give it lead first. Where's that? Where's that? Okay, lead and then fast synth. Boom. And overwrite, and there we go. Now we have lead sweeping wah pad. All right. Well, that was been fun. We've done a third sound. It's not, you know, not crazy, but like I said earlier, I mean, a lot of times less is more in a patch, and I mean, it's got 3 layers going. But we've got a lead. I can pile that with the patches, with the pads that we've done, and I'll start to build a song before too long. Still got a few more parts we'll need to build. I want to try and do some stuff that's largely assembled out of the Korg synths, and then, as I said earlier, as I'm starting to build towards the performance, we'll work the take 5 in for the actual leads clam shanty. I'll have to use that for something. All right, so I think that's going to do me. I'm going to start, I'll play out a little bit, and thanks, folks, for stopping by and hanging out for a while. I appreciate it. Thanks for guinea pigging on the hidden pearls of the clam shanty. So anyway, yeah, we'll go ahead and play some stuff out. Thanks everyone for coming. I appreciate it, and we will chat again next week, if not sooner. Catch you out on the various Discords and socials and whatnot. You all know where to find me. We will again see you all real soon.